Welcome to Troggy Trog's Let's Play Dungeons and Dragons Online. Our next quest in the Necropolis chain, Necropolis 1 chain, is the Bloody Crypt. The Bloody Crypt is the last quest in the chain, and it's a level 6 quest. We're going to do this on normal. We have to fight this guy who sounds... I don't know, I always think of like Italian ice, like the, I don't know. I think like the frozen food aisle or something. Salasso. It just sounds like a frozen food to me. Like something about it. I don't know. Gelasso, Salasso. I don't know. Something about that. Anyway. Larethor. We're gonna bring Larethor in here because he does have restoration, which could be beneficial for us in this one. And I'm going to use my clicky. I didn't really regenerate my clickies before this quest, but it's not a real big deal. This is a relatively long quest, so just be aware of that. Check around for all the goodies, you know.
Bats flutter over your head in this dark, cramped space.
I did grab some fun sunburst cookies from the bank. We'll go ahead and machine gun these guys. We'll go all the way around, make sure we get the rest of them. And the collectibles, by the way, or the breakables, there are plenty of them, so keep your eyes out for all these urns. Looks like we got all the monsters, so I'm gonna grab some of this stuff. Go around the other side here. We also have this really fun thing, these sun flasks. I've been carrying them for a while, but they're actually pretty effective against undead. Ooh. Make sure you have room in your inventory when you start this quest. This is a long quest with a lot of chests, a lot of items. Just keep looking for these urns, because if you miss them, you want to get the ransack, you'll have to go all the way back around. It's kind of an annoying process. Yeah, might as well get them now while you're thinking about it. Although this is kind of the end area here, so you know, if you do miss these, it's not as big a deal. But if you miss some that are like on the extremities, it can be a big deal. So let's see how
Crystals are set into the columns of this chamber. The room might also contain a way to activate them.
I just thought that would be fun though. Oh, come on now, I switched. I don't know how many times I just pressed that. I pressed it, it made the noise like I switched weapons, and it still didn't switch weapons. It's just laggy. Very laggy game. It's not normally this bad though, which is kind of sad. This game has been very non-laggy at times. Pretty stable. You know, there are moments when it gets laggy, especially in quests. Sorry, we got all those levers pulled. Let's check over here on this side. Yep, these are pulled. So you see there's like a yellow side and a pale side, I guess, or whatever we call that. If you look down here, that's now turned off, and the same on that side. So, but what I want to do is I'll go down this side first. Like, generally, when I run this, I often pick this side, you know, so I'm just going to start with this side. It doesn't matter which side you do first, though. There are charnel whites in here, so that's be aware that you can get level drained if you don't have Death Ward. Death Block will not stop it, only Death Ward will, so Unless you got the enhancement from the Paladin, there's a paladin enhancement, and some other minor, I think some epic destinies and things like that that prevent level drain, but that's about it. Wish this guy would heal me. I guess I forgot to turn him on to heal mode. I think we'll be alright for a while. There are going to be casters and regular humans in here, not just undead, so you sometimes have to be ready for that too. Again, just checking Q. I'm using that Q button. It's not really a Q button on my controller. My friend calls it the Q button, so I've always assumed it's the Q button. It's just, well, whatever your button is for looking for interactables, that's what I use. Yeah, my controller is just push down the right joystick. That's what I use for that. That spell resistance coming into play there. That little blue orb on my that glows on my character. That's spell resistance at work, which is good. Kind of glad. I was really happy to get that cloak. Honestly, that was something. That was one of the nicer items I could have gotten in the game so far. As far as like gear I can actually wear that I didn't have to spend any plat for, you know. Yes, and there's just a lot of undead in here. A lot of undead, a lot of critters to fight, a lot of breakables. Just expect to deal with like 275 or more kills usually, 280 to get the Conquest, and I don't know how many breakables, but I imagine it's probably close to that too. It's probably well over 100 breakables. A lot of optionals too, and a lot of quest objectives, as you can see. This is one of the more popular chains to run. This particular Necro 1. Necro 2, I can't say is as popular because there's a couple quests in there that are just not very user friendly. If you enjoy running by yourself in quests and soloing things, there's one in there I don't even know. I gotta look that one up on the wiki and see if I can pull that off. I think I've done it before, but I'm not sure. Like you have to. I don't know. It might be one where I actually need another party member, so that'll be interesting. There's the one too where you swim underwater. Nobody likes that one. It's one of the Necro chains. It's either Necro 2 or Necro 3. I think it's Necro 2. Like nobody likes. I haven't met anybody that likes that one at all. Like everybody hates that one. It's like no, it's not even liked. It's just like hate it. There are certain quests in this game like that are just hated by most people I know, and I'm not saying everybody out there hates it, but the people I run with generally just don't like them because they're just. They get like the novelty of the quest wears off in about like 30 seconds. And you go, okay, this is getting old. I'm running with the wrong helmet on too. Alright, so we want to get one of these again. And,
The Crimson Path.
lag is just terrible. I'm shooting and I'm not seeing anything break. It's like, okay, fine. I usually check these little pockets before I go around because, again, breakables, and I try to get all of them. I triple check. A lot of times I'll Q and then hit Q one more time. So there's one of the locks we need to click to. Basically, we have to get 4 locks, and then we can get access to where Salasso is. He's behind that one spot with that near the first shrine. Bluffed him. I'm not even wearing a bluff item. It's just, it's not bad. I think I got like a 7 or 8 maybe bluff right now. I'd like to get the skill up more and then find a good item to use too. Okay. This guy from a distance before we have to deal with his spells. That was my sunburst cookie. Just thought that would be fun to try out. Oh, repeating crossbow of Ghostbane. Good thing I use repeating crossbows, not. Look at this one real quick. Q over again and then move up. So that's one, and then you go down here and there's another, and then you get that done, then there's 2 over on this side, so yeah, we'll have to do this lock room first though, so might as well use mini shot here because I'm either doing a D-door or a run back. I'll probably run back, so by the time we're done running around, most of this stuff will be gone. Oops, let's get one of these. And again, just what I like to do is just check Q spam. When you split up and do this quest, if you have like 4 players, you can split up, or if you have a party of 6, 4 different groups. 2 guys are going to solo an area, and 2 people will be like groups of 2, and you can do it that way, and then just kind of break up and fan out and get it done quickly. So we're going to be a little bit slower than that, obviously, doing it this way. And we do have D-door, so after this next one, I figure it to be just as fast to run back than it would be the D-door. But after we're done this next one, we'll D-door, and then that'll speed things up a little bit because we won't have to run all the way back through these corridors and hallways and all. Oh, we got some bad guys.
The Burning Path. The Burning Path.
Yeah, and every time you walk through that area, the DM will, and every hallway is like that. It'll say like what the area is called, and then it'll just keep saying it every time if you back through it over and over again. It'll just keep saying it. So sorry if it got annoying there. He said it probably 3 times. Okay, we'll go around this way. That many shots really paying off. Alright, instead of going left, we're going to go right just to make sure we didn't miss anything over here. Okay. We're all reconnected now. We've been everywhere on this side except for this last spot. He's starting flaming spheres. We're getting a lot of XP lately from our monster manual again. Hitting that that tier of XP again. Yeah, I'm checking just to make sure we got everything. I'll pull this lever, grab this, and have him throw a heal on me. Or not. There he goes. He's a heal himself too. Okay, so we have our mini shot ready. Might as well use it up. So we can do a quick shot on anybody else that's left in there. That's everybody. I think that's everybody. Okay, I'm gonna do one last Q spam in this area. Make sure we didn't miss anything. Look at the map real quick. Make sure everything's covered on this side of the map. Got all this done. Got all this done. Okay. Now we're gonna D-door. That'll put us right here, and then we got the shrine and this shrine to use, and there will be a shrine on this side we can use too. I shouldn't have really picked that, but oh well. Yeah, we got shrines to use, so. I'm just double checking, see if there's anything I missed. Let's get an idea. We're only halfway through this. You can see the number of stuff in here. You know, we got 137 monsters killed, 68 breakables already. It's a little laggy there, so I figured I'd just use that cookie. Kind of while shooting and not seeing a lot of things happening. Alright, so we'll do the north side. Ooh, Gullet the Famished one. Maybe he has something good in his chest over here if he has one. Not really. Okay, let's see where we're at here. I'd say this is a good time to use a shrine. I mean, we have a lot of SP left, and that's fine and dandy, but we'll go ahead and use it, and then that way we have our clickies back. Expeditious Retreat mainly. And then we'll go down here, take care of all that, and then we'll come back and do all this, and then we should be ready for the end fight. Oops, that wasn't good. Like, no, I want to do that. It's one of the issues you have if you don't lock your hotbars, but I try to lock my hotbar, leave my hotbars unlocked because I like to throw things in and out of my hotbars often.
The Sanguine Path. The Sanguine Path.
Let's see if I can say, make him say that one more time, huh?
The Sanguine Path.
Yeah. I'm lagging out trying to pick up that blue bag or purple bag there. And see, some of these just have random chests, and these chests are literally random. They're not in the same spot every quest. I know that the Festival thing's still running as I'm recording this, but I had noticed also that there are no coins dropping some. I think with that little maintenance thing they did the other day, they turned off the coins from dropping. I don't know, maybe there was a reason for that. I don't know. Like I just dispelled my acid. Keep on. But I have a feeling it was probably just that they turn it off. They let the collector stay up for a few more weeks after they turn it off. So you can still turn them in, but you can't get any more, which I think is kind of a bummer. I think they should like, I don't know, let that thing run for a while, because it is really a winter festival kind of thing. It's, you know, let it run for maybe like the whole month of January or something, and then have another one running like they do Ice Skate Rizia festival thing. They could have that run through like the whole month of February. Oh, that guy coming. We got one of these guys that's on this side aggroed on us. Wow, more guys coming. Alright, so we got, I think all these Undead over here killed. My hireling's obviously being stupid, so we'll bring him over here and straighten him out. Gives him a little discipline over here. He still doesn't want to behave. We'll bring it. I'll just run him into this room. He'll find something to fight here. Again, just checking for things. See, I didn't even see that chest there initially, so always good to keep checking. Make sure you don't overlook something. Darn flaming spheres. Alright, that was lagged out. I heard the click as I'm using the torch, and then you see it actually happen. You know, a few seconds later. It's like weird. Oh, like another chest. Okay, I think that's everything on this side. Yep. Okay,
the Sanguine Path.
We'll go ahead and leave this area and we'll head up over here. Getting there, guys.
The Immortal Path.
Debuffing me again. That's alright. Head this way, go around. There's an urn there, but we can't hit from that side. Oh, great, there's some aggro on that guy now. Wow. Okay, try that again. He said I'm already on it, and then he ran up to me and then didn't do anything. Like, you mean you think you're already on it? Alright, so we'll pull this lever and that'll open up the force fields, turn the force fields off, and then there it is. You coming around this corner yet? There it is. Alright. Stop it, lag. Whew. I think there really is some kind of lag going on with the range combat. I think that's specifically why I'm having problems. There's like some kind of latency that's going on. Okay, let's look over our map real quick, make sure we get all this outer stuff done. I just want to make sure that was all done before we go in here. Alright, let's do a quick Q spam, make sure we got all this stuff done. Looks like we're good. Alright, so we've got everything explored. Now we hit our D door. And we're gonna head up. We're gonna turn this guy off, because I don't want him getting everything aggroed. This is now turned off, so we got that unlocked. So we're gonna bring that hireling in here, and maybe park him to the side so he can't get line of sight. And the reason I'm doing this is I don't want him following me or aggroing things, because most likely we're not at the aggression bonus yet to the Conquest, and this quest does give a lot of XP. A lot of people like to farm this one for XP, so I thought I'd show you what people do at this point. What we do is generally we hang out here and we just kill stuff for about 5 minutes or more, and until we get all the Conquest bonus, and then we head in. This stuff is all respawning, so it'll just gradually keep showing itself, and then you'll see our Conquest number. On normal it shouldn't be too bad. I'm guessing it's going to be around, like, I think on Elite it's like 280 something, so it should be probably around 250, maybe 270, somewhere in that range. It'll take a little while, but these guys spawn pretty quickly. I mean, you can see them, they're just constantly spawning. In fact, what I'll do is I'll put this up in the corner, like this probably, so you can see the kills. Alright, yeah, 226, 227. You just don't want to go too far into there. You stay, like, you know, basically stay back here and you're fine. If you go in there, I think he gets aggroed, then it starts up the end fight sequence. So then you'll have to deal with all that stuff as well as trying to get the respawns. I don't know if the respawns spawn as quickly in that as they do right now or not. I think they do, but I'm not sure. But you know, this here we only have like one thing on our mind. It's just killing monsters. If we get him aggroed, and then we'll have to avoid him and deal with a vampire trying to kill you while you're fighting these squishy little undeads. And it's just kind of something we can avoid, you know, if we can, rather than having to deal with. So we're almost at 250 now, just got a couple more to go. Let's see if hopefully 250 is the number. If not, obviously it'll be a higher number, but I know it's not going to be higher than 283. That's the elite number, I'm pretty darn sure of. Something like that sticks in my head because I've done this. That, you know, I was with groups that we would farm the XP on this and just keep repeating this quest. And you learned all the little nuances of the quest that way. If you have the proper bonuses running and like XP pots and tomes of learning, and you got the 10% bonus for the holidays or whatever that the DDO might be running, and I think VIP get a bonus as well for running the quests on Elite. I think, I'm not 100% sure because it's been a while since I've been VIP, but yeah, you can get some serious. I mean, you can get like 30,000-40,000 XP out of this quest. We got enough bonuses running. I've seen those kind of numbers, you know, maybe even higher than that. So it's crazy, you know. That's usually a couple ranks, you know, you'll get just from one quest. We're already basically at rank 43, so we'll have 43, 44, and 45 before we have to take a level, so we got about 3 ranks left to take a level. And this one will probably pretty much push us through almost a rank. There's 270, and we're still not at it. So it might be the same on every difficulty. It might not be a difference on normal, hard, and elite. I don't know. Oh, there it is, 273. So it's 10 points lower. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and buff up. Let's give ourselves every buff we can. See, sometimes you get pinned by enemies, but I was able to jump out of that. I remember doing that Fjarlin chain. I got stuck just by one giant. It was against the wall, and there was an area where I could jump away, and it still wouldn't let me out. I think it was just like glitched. Just in case it gets nasty, I'll give myself my DVs, just in case, you know, this becomes a really long, epic fight or something. I don't think it will. But he is a vampire, and we don't have necessarily the proper DR to bypass his vampire you know, defenses or whatever you want to call those the abilities of a vampire to avoid damage. Okay, so we need to slay Salasso. You see I'm not doing anything to him, so we need to find something. So I'm gonna try to let these guys get aggro on this guy. Usually the idea what you want to do is run around My favorite thing is just to run upstairs first to the very top tier. But what we gotta do is find his heart. And you have to actually click on every one of these manually. So yeah, I mean, you can get your Conquest this way, but a lot of us tend to do this first. Do the Conquest part first and then go after this. And if you have a person who can get the aggro and hold it and you can kind of kite the vampire around or just tank him for a little while, that's always a good idea, you know, just try to keep him busy until you can see the message you're looking for. Obviously it won't say the coffin lies open. It'll say his heart's in here or something like that along those lines. It's pretty obvious when you get it. Alright, so it's not there, so we'll try the next tier down like that. Since we got him on attack mode, see, he's attacking, so we'll just let them go at it and we'll find the heart. And like I said, you know, if you have a group, you're gonna have 4 tiers here. You got the upper tier and then, you know, two more tiers in between the lower tier and the upper tier.
The stones at your feet are worn smooth.
Alright, so we got him. Now his seal's broken. By the way, you know, that guy up there is a lich. And people would say, put your voice on before you start that fight.
On the ground.
If you have a voice of the master, it's an item. Alright, so the lich is mad, so he left. We get this, and you put your voice of the master on, and that will end the quest. So you can see it's worth 9100 without the optionals and all that stuff, but we got the daily playthrough bonus and all these other things going, so it's gonna be pretty decent XP. And that's really, a lot of people say, oh, that's not very good, you know. It's like, yeah, well, it's on normal. I don't have any buffs running, I don't have a voice of the master, I don't have a tome that I'm using, although I do have a tome, it's not activated. I'm saving it for later if we need it. We really don't need it right now. We're way ahead of the curve as far as our level versus the quest we're running. I mean, we're running a quest right now that we're 2 levels ahead, so we're getting a penalty, you know, and all that too. So anyway, a couple things to remember here. Get your bloody scarab, because now we got a full set of scarabs, so you can make the scarab powder. The other thing is, always have your silver flame trinket with you when you're in these quests, because you're going to upgrade it and it turns into an amulet. And the amulet is, see if we can find it here, is a necklace at first, but then it becomes a trinket when you upgrade it in the next tier of quests, the Necropolis 2 chain. And so it'll end up having negative energy absorption with 5 absorptions, and I think it'll have death block after that, so, and you'll be able to equip it in your trinket slot. But just carry it with you, because negative energy spells are nice ones to absorb, and you know, it's just always good to have something like that. It can save your butt when you're fighting maybe a beholder or something like that later on in the game. Anyway, if you look at the optional XP, this is all excluded from this total, so you add all that up and end up having, you know, probably a good 13,000 or so, and that's with no bonuses really running. So alright, I'm gonna go ahead and finish out and get our reward for the chain. Yeah, that was probably one of the better necro chains. There are some of these other ones, they have some really good quests and then some really kind of annoying quests. Some are fun and some, you know, have a novelty to them that wears off pretty quickly over time. So, you know, it's to each their own, I guess. But in my opinion, the Necro 1 chain's pretty nice. The Necro 2 chain's like, it's kind of okay. I mean, some of it's not so good. So, Lord Mistress Gina. The abbot will meet the same fate Salasso did. That's a pretty bold statement for my level 7 character, actually, or level 8 character. It's a high level raid, you know, and then they have an epic version of it now, so. Oh, yay, look at all the fun stuff. Hey, we got skirmish chainmail. Is that any better than the chain shirt? Not really. It gives you more dex max bonus, or max dex bonus, I mean, and then death block 2. This is kind of nice. It's got flame touch iron, so it's good align, and it's ghost bane. It's pretty decent actually, but not many people use battle axes, and I don't really use any weapons like that right now that I got a bow. What's this one here? I might take that death block shirt just to replace the one we're wearing. The armor class is basically the same, so it's not really an upgrade so much. It's a minor upgrade, but at least it's not perma damage. And it might look better than what we're wearing. We'll see. So we'll go ahead and take that. And if you reset her, it'll reset the chain, I think. So, you know, it's up to you guys, like how you'd want to do that. I'm just gonna leave them all blue because I'm just kind of one and done with all these quests in the game. So. If you want to pick up a dialogue with her again and restart the chain, you certainly can. And as far as the scarabs go, I'll show you real quick how to make the scarab powder, since I'm thinking about it right now. So we'll go run that real quick. This was a little addendum to the to the quest. So we're pretty close to the. You have to go to the Stone of Change, and you know, some guild ships have stones of change on them, and you can also go over to the 12. I think there's a stone of change over there, and then there's a stone of change over not only on the 12 but at the marketplace next to the bank. It's sort of a crafting process. It was before they ever came out with any other crafting in the game. I think they pretty much stone of change was like the first crafting system in the game. If there's an item you have that's like this bow I'm using, if you want to make it bound to character so it doesn't get perma-damaged, you can put it in the Stone of Change with some Silver Shards and Fiber Dragon Shards or something like that, and yeah, good to go. But not a big deal right now for me. I'm not really worried about it. What I'd like to get, though, is get all these scarabs out, and I'll put all these out, and then you'll see what these do here in a second. So you get all these scarabs, you put them all into the Stone of Change, and what it'll do is it'll make a powder, basically like grind them down, and it'll automatically go in your bag if you got auto gather on. And we can pull that out, and Scarlet Scarab powder, you know, you can make money off of it. You can turn it into the collector. I don't know if we will turn it into the collector. We'll see. I want to put this armor on too while we're at it. Heretical Path we really don't need that book, but let's see what this looks like. It's more chainmail looking, I guess. Yeah, it's got like a little bit more chainmail going on than the other one. It doesn't have those big like 1980s leg warmers going on the legs, so that's kind of different. I like it. It looks a little bit more stockier in the arms and shoulders with this wearing this. So anyway, I'll show you the guy to talk to. I won't really trade in the scarab powder, but you have to take the scarab powder out of your bag, because you won't see it unless it's out of your bag. So you'll take the Scarlet Scarab powder, whatever powder you're using. It works for all the different powders for each of the chain series. So Necro 2, Necro 3, all those different chains, you can get the powder and put those into the Stone of Change and make take the scarabs and make the powder. So yeah, for all the chains. So basically there's 3 different types, I think. And then you go back over to Necropolis and you talk to this fellow back here, I believe, Scarab Collector. You'll talk to this guy, Squire Rail, and he'll give you a choice in the dialogue. Not really a UI barter system, so you have to know what you're getting before you get it. So look it up on the wiki before you turn it in to kind of have an idea what you want. you know, ddowiki.com, and that's about it. So anyway, guys, that was Necro 1. The whole chain's done.